Hey everybody, it's Kenny K here again with another 1987 movie. One of my favorites, probably from that year. One of. I think there's a few good ones left. Probably did a review of this one, but this time I hope with better audio. Although my audio uh, fucked me over, so I hope this one's gonna be understandable. Blood Rage from 1987 gets a 5.4, but it gets a fucking 6 from me. Oh yeah. So you got Maddie, the mom, and she has two identical twins, Todd and Terry. Now we are in the 60s or something like that. Yeah, 60s or early 70s, and they're in a drive through, and she is like a desperate housewife. She wants a man, but the problem is she always has to take the kids. She's basically, you know, kissing and groping when the kids are back there, but of course she doesn't want to go the full way, which the guy wants to, but he says, do the kids have to be there always, like that? It's a drag. Now one of the kids wakes up, sees his mom kissing with the guy. He wakes up Todd. He goes, Terry goes up outside and sees another couple making out. Now the guy says, "Get the fuck out of here," to Terry, because he's being a peeping tom. But he takes this hammer slash axe thing. It has a hammer and an axe, and he starts to slam the axe in the guy's face. And I've got to say, it's a low budget movie, but all done in practical and really realistic practical effects. You see the axe going in his face, you see the cuts, another, his eyes shut because an entire cut is in there. He basically cuts him up. He gives the weapon to Todd. He puts blood on his cheeks, and he says, he went crazy. Todd went crazy. So he puts the blame on Todd. So it's always a thing with. I'm not sure if that's a real thing, because they do it in a lot of movies, and like in The Simpsons, even in the Halloween episode, when Bart has a twin living upstairs in the attic. You've got the evil and the good twin, and in this movie they really take that really serious. Now 10 years have passed. Todd's in an insane asylum. Todd has hair like brownish hair, and it's hang down. It's played by Mike Soper. Now I have to say that Mark Soper. I have to say that he does a great job, because he plays two roles in this movie: the innocent, childlike Todd, and the macho, blonde-haired, hair like a lion Terry, because he's being living a good life. They're living in this uh, boarded community in Florida, which is pretty nice. It has his pool, has tennis courts and things like that, and he has it good. And he has a girlfriend. He has friends, and his mom goes to visit Todd every so on, and gives a cake. But this time Todd starts, because Todd was in a catatonic state, and he starts to become more and more conscious of what happened that night, and he says I didn't do it. And Dr. Dr. Kremen, Dr. Kremen, I think her name is, because yeah, Kremen. Um, she basically believes it, that he didn't do it. Not that it's like that she thinks she's the head psychiatrist. His psychiatrist. She worked with him for 10 years, but she now starts to believe that he really didn't do it, not the delusional or something. No, he didn't do it. So, and knows that Terry probably did it. Now she, of course, the mom doesn't take it, and he doesn't want to hear this, and this and this and that, and Todd starts to beg, please get me out of here. I didn't do it. Terry did it, and eventually, a few of the people that work in the insane asylum come in, and they take him, back to his room, his padded room. But he eventually they get word. Okay, so they're sitting on this, but because Terry is an asshole. He has his girlfriend Karen, who's a really nice girl, and there's a new girl that's living there, and he's openly flirting with her and says, "You should come to our dinner party. It's a team movie. It's a Thanksgiving movie. So it's a holiday movie, a holiday horror movie, like Halloween and Friday the 13th and so on." Um, so Maddie organizes this dinner party, and what happens is she gets a call. Okay, before she gets the call, she announces that Brad King is the owner of this complex. They're engaged, and this already sets Todd off, because he is like a dominant lion, and another dominant lion has now entered his pack of female lions. So he is looking like, and he's drinking milk. He doesn't. He's a weird guy. There's something weird. His eyes are really. It's weird because Todd looks completely different than Terry, but they're the same actors. But it's just because of the blonde, like white blonde hair, and maybe makeup. And with Todd, they don't have the makeup. The hair is down. The hair is darker. He looks less creepy than Terry does. But then Maddie asks for Terry to cut the turkey, and then he usually does that as the man of the house. And also Maddie's really submissive towards him. She's like, "You do it, Terry." She's treating him like the man of the house. Then he says to Brad in a sort of sarcastic way, "It's time, maybe you do it, Brad. Time to hold your weight in the family." And he does it. And eventually Maddie gets a telephone call. She closes everything up. But of course, Terry, being the guy of the house, he just goes in and hears that Todd has escaped from the insane asylum. And she asks to Terry not to say it, because it would ruin the entire party, the entire night. He sits down. The first thing he says, "Oh, do you know my homicidal brother escaped, and he's probably coming here." And he just starts to ask for the peas, and he's a nutbag. That just put him off. That put him off. I think that and maybe something else put him off, because there was a scene where, Brad and Maddie are kissing, and that's also something, and that puts him completely off. He becomes full psycho again. And now we get a movie that's basically about a killer who's killing the entire populace of this complex compound. But not a lot of people living there, like a handful, 10 people, plus all of his friends. He kills them all. He uses his favorite weapon of choice is a machete. So the first one he kills is Brad. He goes to Brad, but the practical effects. He's there with Brad, and he knocks on the door with the machete, and he says, "Oh, you're here," because at that point, Doctor Kremen and I think his name was Artie, not Artie, but uh, Bart or something. Yeah, she has an assistant with her with a tranquilizer gun. They're here to search for him, and he goes back to his desk. He has a gun there. He takes a cool beer, and then uh, Terry comes in, chops off the hand, and which is cool is the hand crushes the severed hand with the beer can, crushes the can on the ground from the tension. I mean, and he really goes down on this guy. He slices him open like this, that he flaps open. Uh, he kills the psychiatrist. He cuts her in half, and her upper side is still squirming, and the guts are hanging out. And then the assistant, he's smoking some weed, and he says, "Do you wanna talk?" And he has the machete behind him like this, and he says, the assistant is from the psychiatrist. He says, "Do you know that the psychiatrist has theories that apparently Terry is the killer and not Todd?" And then he thinks, "Oh fuck!" And he stabs him, but it's a real stab right through the back, and the blood squirting out. He's really mean-spirited kills. And then you've got the amazing phrase that he uses 3 times in the entire movie. With his t-shirt full of blood, he wants to wash himself, take off the t-shirt, and he tastes the blood, and he says, "That ain't cranberry sauce. That ain't cranberry sauce." And there's another moment in the movie that a bunch of his friends find his goodie bag with all his weapons. He gives the spork to Terry. Of course, his friend gets the spork right in his neck, but he finds a machete first and lays it on the side of this bridge, and then Terry says, "That ain't cranberry sauce, man. That ain't cranberry sauce." And then he kills him, takes the fucking knife again, takes the machete, tastes the blood again. That ain't cranberry sauce. It's almost like he thinks that blood is the same thing as cranberry sauce. It's that childlike thing in him. They both have that, because he plays with his victims, especially with Karen at the end. Todd is there. Karen comes over, and she sees Todd. Now she's a little bit jealous. She's the girlfriend. They went to school, separate schools. She said, "Why didn't you write to me? We could have called, and I want you to make love with me." It's like, and then Todd is like, "I never kissed a girl before." Oh, so you're Todd. "Oh, okay. Ooh. She runs away. The two friends of the two friends from the beginning, when they're, I think, like I said, the assistant, I'm going to call him the assistant with the tranquilizer, because one of these friends is called Artie. He's the one who gets the spork in the neck. The other one, I am not sure what name he is, but there's this one all these cool death scenes. So he goes to that girl where he was openly flirting with. They're sitting at the couch looking at TV. She puts her hand between his legs, and he's saying, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" So he's kind of loyal to Karen, and the husband, the owner, who's a desperate housewife, she has a baby, comes in with a guy who has some money, because the cost for the babysitting was $10, and she says, "Oh," and she looks at him like that, and he says, "I'll get it. She's, um, yeah, she's a cougar that's out for a rich husband, so she can do and buy whatever she wants." And that guy's really like, "You shouldn't drink. You shouldn't drink. Minors shouldn't drink." And he's saying, "We're not minors." Then our Todd, Terry, sorry, knocks again on the door, and the guy, the date says, "It's that kid from before, the babysitter." And she says, "Go and see what he wants." You open the door, you see Terry saying hi, and then she goes back. She doesn't know where date is. She looks at the outside. Somebody knocks. She looks outside the peeping hole. She sees her date standing outside. She opens the door, and you see a realistic severed head that's held on an electric cord, an extension cord. Jesus Christ, the gore in this one, the gore. Mwah. It's a simple story. Terry, the evil twin, killing everybody. Todd, the good guy, basically, but is a little bit wimpy and also childlike. He, at some point, has a gun. He has him at point blank range, doesn't want to kill him. He just runs away like a wimp. And Maddie, the mom, also crazy as batshit crazy. She calls Brad through a operator. Now I know that back then operators still existed, but you can call direct. She doesn't want to call direct. She's so cheap that she wants, of course, Brad has the money that he would take the call, but she really wants him. She starts to yell at the operator, who can't do shit about it. Then she is calling with the operator and saying, "Yeah, my boy Todd escaped from the mental asylum, and I always bring him cake." And then you hear the operator saying, "But ma'am, who do you trying to reach?" "Oh, oh, sorry." And then again she starts yelling all over the place. She's vacuuming at the middle of the night. She's drinking full cups of wine. She's passed out. She's completely fucked. And then at some point she finds a bloody shirt of Terry, and she thinks it's Todd, of course. Now, I really don't want to spoil it, because there's this twist at the end that I found disgusting, personally, from the mom. Um, One of the last kills, you have more kills, but I'm not gonna say them all, so you can enjoy it. One of the last kills is Karen, but he plays like he's mind fucking. He's constantly. At some point, she's trying to call the police, and he's standing there. He's laughing. He takes the cord out, and she hits him in the nuts with the telephone, and he says, "Oh, that hurt, Karen. I love you." Swinging at her, and I mean, he's completely batshit crazy. The mom is batshit crazy. Todd is not batshit crazy, but he's just insecure. He's a child, basically. He's still the same old child. He just awoke. That's the thing. Eventually, they get in a struggle, but he's too weak and he's too scared. And then something happens, and then I'm gonna leave it for you. There's another kill that happens there on the a couple that's having sex on the boogie, on the bouncing board for the pool. There are a lot of cool kills in this one. It's a great movie. It's a simple movie. You watch this movie for one, the gore, the practical effects that are really well done. You watch this movie for the quirky acting, especially by Terry, because he's so funny that that line with the cranberry sauce, it's just weird and it's funny. It's bad acting actually, but it's fun acting. You know, bad, so bad that it's fun. It's good. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie. It, it's not a horror comedy, but it does have comedic undertones, and all the kills. I mean, a lot of kills. A lot of every kill is gory. Every kill is gory. Like I said, his weapon of choice is the machete, but he uses his pork. He does use a few different things too, but he is great. The, it's a great movie. And then the collision that ultimately, ultimately will collide between him and Todd and Terry and Maddie is just that's kind of disturbing in my opinion, and yeah, I won't say anything more. If you want to see the movie, just take a look at it. I guarantee. I give it a 6. It's one of the better '87 slasher movies, and it's probably up there in the top 50 best slasher movies. So Blood Rage, which originally was made in '83, but was shelved and was released in '87, which was a year that the MPAA basically cut every gore out of horror movies. Although this one got the pass because I think it's the same year that Friday the 13th, A New Blood came out, and that one was just neutered by the MPAA. So it's nice to see a movie that kept everything in. So subscribe for more horror fun and obscure movies, known movies, new movies, old movies. I'm going to go to new movies. I'm trying to do it chronologically, but sometimes I put a new one in there. I just did Smile, wanted to see that one for a long time. Also did Sinister again for a second time, so that one I'll probably put on there. But in any case, subscribe and hope to see you later. Bye bye.